It's your boy, CoffeeMan Ran, and we're here with the first installment of the CoffeeMan Ran World Tour. All right, so let's not even try to delay. We got a lot of things to go over today. So, to give you an overview of what this series is going to be, for starters, I got a Coffee Bean Corral subscription service where I get to try 6 different half-pound bags of coffee every single month. So I said, why not just go ahead and make content out of this? I love coffee. This gives me the opportunity to go down the path of actually learning how I can make my coffee the way I want to make it. So, with the subscription service, you get green coffee beans. And for those of you who don't know, coffee starts out in a different format than what we see it in. So, as you can see, these beans are not brown, they're green. It starts off in a green bean format that has to be roasted before you can grind them into the coffee grinds that you see that you put into either your coffee filters for your regular coffee pot or your espresso machine. So I have the raw green bean format that I'm going to go through the roasting process with our roaster back here and make a medium or dark roast. More than likely, I'm going to start with a medium roast just because I prefer a stronger coffee. And we're going to go through the whole process of roasting our own beans here at the house, grinding them and fine tuning our grinder for the coffee beans that we have, and then making both a regular brewed pot of coffee and an espresso based coffee. So as we go through this series, I'll taste test the coffee in its regular format without putting any syrups or latte style mixtures to it. I'll get an idea of what it tastes like. I'll go through what the flavor palette is before we even taste it to see if the flavor palette is described and what I taste on my taste buds match. And then I'll go through and see if I can make me a latte based off of what I taste in the actual coffee beans that I roasted. So walk with me through this process of physically making coffee from roasting to grinding to a pot, well, cup slash espresso. So here we go. And for today's first coffee bean from around the world, we'll be using the Rwandan bean. I just picked one randomly out of the pack. It is the Rwandan bean called Hingakawa. I hope I'm saying this correctly. If I'm not, please correct me in the comments. We are trying with different languages too, so world tour. I'm gonna mess up somewhere down the line. But first things first, the first thing we want to do is go over what the flavor palette is for the Hingakawa. So, with the Hingakawa, the tasty notes that we have are a bright acidity, sweet, raisin, dry tropical fruit, clean, interesting, and pleasant. Fruity coffee, different. This is not the first fruity coffee I've had, but we're going to see if it's a heavy fruit or a light fruit. And based off of the cupping notes, I'm going to place it probably over here, over here. Look at one of these corners. And I'll actually put the flavor palette in here. Fruity seems to be the heaviest flavor palette that it's noted inside of the cupping notes for this. So we're going to see if we get a real fruity flavor or if it's just there enough for you to be like, I'm heard but not seen. We'll let you know. So let's go ahead and dive into roasting these beans. I've never roasted a bean before, so you all get to see this in real time as I try to figure out how to do this. So we're going to follow the instructions as presented. I have never done this, so you are literally rocking with me as we do this. So it says weigh out 70 grams or 2 spoonfuls of the beans. So beans here. Want to get 2 spoonfuls in. Now, I will tell y'all this. As I do this and walk through this process, coffee beans in raw format definitely do not smell like how coffee beans smell when you actually get roasted coffee beans. It's like an earthy smell, not really a coffee smell. Yeah, I will say this does not smell like coffee yet. But I guess we'll get closer to that soon, right? All right. Let's pour the beans into the roaster chamber. It's not more than 70. I put in 2 spoonfuls. Let's see. All right, I'm going to put this top back on. Make sure we got everything. All right. And I'm going to lock it. And the default roast time is 20 minutes. So We got 20 minutes, guys. I will tell you this. As it's starting to go, it's really starting to smell good. Phew. That thing smells amazing. All right, everybody. Time for the great reveal. So, for reference, the coffee was this nice green format at first. Here's the results post-grinding. So, as you can see, we have our brown coffee beans now. And you can see this little husk on the outside. So, the beans have like a little shell. As you roast them, it peels off. The beans also gain a little bit of size in comparison to where they were beforehand. That's the beans then. You see how small they are? Beans then, beans now. So, nice little lesson. Now, let's go ahead and get into grinding so we can get some actual coffee. We're back post delay. We have coffee beans now. So, now that we have the coffee beans, now it's time to go ahead and get into the other fun part, which is grinding these beans into the grounds that you actually normally see to make our 1 cup and our espresso shot. Normally, I would go ahead and make the 1 cup into this. This houses the coffee in its regular format for my grinder. And then I'll have a shot specific grind. But because of the fact that I'm going to drink an exuberant amount of coffee between today and the next couple of days, I'm just going to grind all of it. It'll be gone in like 2 days with the way that I drink coffee. So probably on the next go round, you'll see me ground specifically a storage amount of coffee, and then we'll ground up a shot version. But for today, straight up all the grounds. All right. We're going to walk our way through the instructions as we do this, because I've never used this grinder either. Yay. Trying new things with CoffeeMan Ran. All right, what we got to do? Place the catch lid on there. Boom. Oh, forgot to plug this in. Might need that. So, I'm going to plug this joker in. The grind size. Remove the lid and pour your beans in. All right, we'll go ahead and pour these beans in. Is all of them? All right. That's all the beans. Going to put this top back on. And we're going to let it ground. 90 seconds, we'll have some ground up coffee. Sometimes you got to pat the grounds in. Yeah, I think we got everything. All right. And what we have is our grounded coffee. And when I tell you, this thing smells good. Now, I will say this. I am curious. It has a little bit of a fruity scent, so I guess we'll see how this actually goes. Okay, so next thing on the list, we're gonna go ahead and prep a K-cup for a 1 cup of coffee, and then I'm gonna prep the portafilter for the latte. I'm gonna taste the cup of coffee before I ever make the latte because I wanna know what am I getting out of this. So we're gonna go ahead and see that. So prepping the K-cup first. And if you want, you can buy your own K-cups for your K-cup machines. Put whatever coffee you wanna put in it, and trust me, it's a great time. I'm gonna slap in our K-cup. Get in there. Yeah, I'm 100% certain I didn't put any water in here, so. A little more than 8 ounces. That's fine. And we'll wait for our K-cup to make some coffee. And while it does that, we'll go ahead and prep our shot. So, I normally don't prep a shot with the exact amount of coffee that's supposed to go into it. For whatever odd reason, the way that my portafilter is set up, it's not your average 18 grams for a shot or for a double shot. I'm used to 18 grams makes a double shot easily. That's not what we get with my espresso machine. So I normally weigh it out to about 15 grams because that's usually about what we end up with. Or I eyeball it and see what fits inside of the actual portafilter. I'm gonna have to use the WDT tool on this one because these are very clumpy grounds. I'll have a mess to clean up when this is done with for the day. We're getting the raw format of Randy making coffee today. But yeah, go ahead and put your grounds in, get the good tamp going. It should be a really good cup this time. Oh yeah, this is definitely about to be amazing. All right, so espresso shot made. All right, now after our little intermission, our coffee is done. So, moment of truth. We get a little bit of a taste test. As many of you know, I'm not really a fan of hot coffee. I prefer to have an iced latte, iced coffee, cold brew. But what better way to get the realness of coffee than the hot version? It smells great though, but it's damn sure hot. Okay, it said a bright acidity, sweet, raisin, dry tropical fruit. You can get that in mind. I can say this. The dry tropical fruit flavor, definitely evident. All right. Just because of the fact that I know my dentist would be pissed at me for drinking black coffee again when I said I wouldn't do it, we're adding oat milk creamer just for the sake of I'm trying to preserve my teeth. All right, now let's test this out. No sugar, just creamer. Plus, I prefer it that way. Ooh. Note, for reference, guys, it's 9 o'clock at night, but I definitely am going to finish this cup. All right, and what I said I was going to do after I made the cup of coffee so I had an understanding of what the flavor palette was, my next choice is to build a latte. Because you need a latte to go along with this, right? So let's show you what ingredients we're going to put into this latte. So we built the coffee in its normal natural format. It's a sweet, kind of fruity coffee, not really sweet. Like when you think about coffee in terms of sweetness, it's not going to be like, boom, here's a piece of candy. That's not what it is. It's more of a sweet undertone. It's not bitter from my perspective of just drinking regular coffee. It's not really too bitter, which is amazing to find in a coffee. So what we're going to do to make this latte, you know we're going to have the oat milk. That's always. Because it's fruit adjacent, I felt like, really, all we just need is some honey. I think that's all we're going to do. We're going to keep this real simple today. It's going to be oat milk and a little bit of honey syrup just to give us a nice little blend of flavors. And yeah, let's do it. As I wait for this shot to be made. Hands down, this is probably like the easiest cup of coffee. I didn't even put sugar in here. It's just oat milk in the coffee. Like, this is good. I will be drinking more of this, and I hope this don't keep me up at night, but if it does, it was worth it. And our double shot is coming. Yay. It's a deep medium. You see the darkness of that? It's medium, probably bordering closer to a dark roast, but it's like a medium dark. I don't mind a dark roast. I prefer a medium or a blonde. But I will say the coffee tastes amazing. And that was a good pull too. We'll take it. So first, let's go ahead and add our honey. You can use regular honey or honey syrup. Depends on how you feel. I've gotten kind of accustomed with this honey syrup. I didn't think it needed too much here. Add your ice. Pour your milk. And it's very, very full double shot. I'm gonna try not to spill. Bow. Perfect pour. Can't tell me nothing. And straw. And this, my friends, is our Rwandan honey iced latte. Cheers. That was a good choice. The honey didn't overpower it. It actually kind of boosted the coffee a little bit. That was a good choice. I'm proud of that one. Though I'm drinking all this coffee like it's not 9 o'clock and I gotta go to bed. And that concludes our first stop on the CoffeeMan Ran World Tour. Our first stop being Rwanda with the Hingakawa coffee. A medium, probably medium dark roast based off the way that we did it. But thank you for joining me on this journey. If you like this video, share it with your friends. We are doing more of this. This is the first stop. I will be trying to do one of these a week. I got 6 coffees, so I got plenty of coffee to try to do this with. So stay tuned. We'll be in another country next week. It'll be a surprise. But as always, go be great and peace and blessings.